Today is the end of season number 2 here at Manchester United. It's not quite the finale we dreamt of. One cup final to play today. It's the FA Cup. It's against Liverpool. It's not going to be easy. Of course, last episode we were here for the Champions League semi-final. If you tuned out halfway through, the fact that we're not doing a Champions League game today might be a little bit of a shock. I'm still not over the Euro Panenka. I'm still not, if I click on it, does it go to it? I don't think I want to watch this. I want to be bashing on the glass telling him, no, don't do it, don't do it. Yeah, that happened, didn't it? That basically ruined our season. Since last episode, we have actually played 3 games. We played Bournemouth, where we lost. We played Tottenham, where we won 4-1. And then we took on Liverpool in the final league game of the year, where they'd already won the league. We were already cemented in our league position and couldn't move up or down. So I played a B team that did kind of just get destroyed. Here, though, is a final look at the Premier League table. Yes, we ended up finishing 3rd in the end. That kind of drop off in form just with all the fixtures did cost us over Man City in the end. But when we beat Tottenham 4-1 in that penultimate game of the year, it secured our spot to Liverpool. Relatively comfortable winners yet again at the top. In terms of team and player stats and other stuff like that, we actually had the most shots of anyone this year, 818. And last year we were rock bottom for average possession. We've moved up in the ranks to the dizzying heights of 13th. Yeah, there has been games this season where I have tried to just control the game a lot more. In terms of average ratings, we don't really have anyone on the same level as Erling Haaland or Phil Foden, but Esteval actually had the best rating of any of our players, which is a little bit of a shock to me, but the 20-year-old did have an absolutely amazing season. 8 goals, 9 assists through 28 starts. And obviously, given his potential, given his age, I'm hoping this is just the beginning of him lighting up the Premier League stat board. Top goal scorer for us was Benjamin Sesko with 31 goals. Quite a big drop-off then to Esteval. And then Livramento at right wing-back with the 3rd most goals this season is wild. In terms of assists, it was actually Esteval and Livramento right up there again. But Ahmad was some good company, as was Bruno. And Dorgu at left-back as well. Yeah, the change in system this year, where more and more in possession, we are now looking to play with attacking wing-backs, has worked really, really well for us. I called them attacking wing-backs, they're called advanced wing-backs. No one would have noticed anyway, but I feel like with all the new roles and stuff in Football Manager, you've kind of got to reprogram your brain a little bit. If you were wondering, our budgets for the next season have already been set. £78 million in the transfer budget, £227,000 in wages, and to be honest, I think going into the summer, we're probably going to be thinking about doing some wheeling and dealing, but we'll worry about that after the final, which, well, we are going to jump straight into right here and now. Another trip to Wembley, a chance to make it a double, albeit a rather unimpressive double of the Carabao and FA Cup, but they all count. And obviously, Liverpool today going to be a tricky, tough opposition, so I am going to play the 4-2-3-1 that we play, the more defensive system that has just served us really, really well this year. In terms of team news, it's actually the first time, I think, in forever where absolutely everyone in the squad is fit. Yeah, there is actually no one missing for today's game, which has not been the case throughout this season. I am expecting us to win against our rivals today. I feel like if we lose this final, it might be a bit of a disappointing season, but if we win this game, I'll feel like we're amazing. I will say, having seen the team they're deploying today, we're definitely not favourites taking on the Premier League champions. Okay, it's a rainy day at Wembley. They've got Nico Williams out on the left-hand side. Andy Robertson has kept his spot over Kirkes over the last 2 years. And look at the rest of their team here. It's a pretty standard, strong Liverpool side. Okay, well, half an hour played it. Nothing has happened. I say that. We might be about to get our first shot on target as Van Dijk looks to bring it out of defence. Liverpool had 4 shots very early on, but from there didn't really build off it. They've got plenty of players, though, committed to this attack here. Mo Salah, the danger man, out on the right-hand side with Frimpong for support, who skips past his man, plays it inside. Esteval doesn't win the tackle, falls to Robertson. Oh my word, that is a big save by the keeper. Livramento, the man who I've mentioned, he can be a goal threat, he can be an assister threat. He's on the right wing and trying to cause some danger here. On this occasion, a little bit more conservative in his approach play as Buadi plays it for Esteval. Sesko bursting through the lines, finds the bottom corner, and that is a link-up we've seen so often this year. Murillo obviously is the advanced centre-back to Buadi, and then that pass was nice, and this one, even more delightful. We just unlocked them through a couple of intricate passes through the centre, and that was a tasty finish into the bottom corner. 5 minutes left of this half. Liverpool have been blunted. I don't want to jinx it. I feel like we've kept them really quiet so far in this game, which of course is a great thing to be able to say given the firepower they do have. Livramento skips past Williams, who's not the best from a defensive point of view. That might be something we can exploit. Dorgu, Sesko, Mora! makes it 2. You know what? The season might have a happy ending yet. Livramento cutting inside, dinks it. Dorgu I did not back to win that header, although against Frimpong, actually, maybe I should back him to win it. Mora took it down and just lifted it over the keeper. That was such a nice finish. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. They've had just the 1 shot on target. We're executing the game plan. Saying all of that, you know, defence wins championships is what they say. Our defence needs to be at its best here. From a set piece, it's Virgil van Dijk. He's very good on near post corners. We had so many players at the near post here to try and deal with it. Murillo was perhaps the man you'd think is responsible. That does make the team talk a little bit less easy at half-time. But you have to say, on the overall banter play, I think we have to be happy with where we are at. We still have the lead in this game. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. Sesko is confused and demotivated. Let me whisper stuff in his ear. I'm very happy with your performance. He appeared interested. Good enough for me. That makes it sound like I've made a move on him, doesn't it? Okay, the rain continues to come down here at Wembley as we get into the second half, which could kick off with a highlight. This is a spell of possession that I'm not really accustomed to seeing us have. Gay plays it forward to Dorgu. The left-back could use his pace or his technical ability to pick out Bruno. There's players in the middle. Bruno goes down. Gravenberch, I think, has given away a penalty here, and what a crazy start to the half. We lost our 2-goal lead right before the break. We might be about to reinstate it within minutes. Anthony Taylor's listening to the video referee. The penalty has been awarded. And now there is pressure on Bruno to score here. I don't remember the last time he missed a penalty, and that is concerning because it feels like this would be the opportune time for Football Manager to throw that curveball. Bruno steps up. He shoots. He's actually missed it. The keeper's made a ridiculous save. I hope that isn't going to cost us. As this game goes on, I am going to have to think about making some changes. I feel like Dorgu and Livramento have been okay, but actually match rating-wise, they're not having the best of matches. And to be fair, with an hour played here, I think they are the players that get up and down the pitch so much. It's perhaps in our interest to get some fresh legs in that area. I'm going to bring in Ahmad. Do I want to rotate the entire system around? I think I might need to here. So what will happen is, instead of it being the right wing back, when we have the ball that drops in a right back, I'll make it so it's Henry. I'll be honest with you, this is always a little bit awkward to do in the current system of how the game works, but I'm not sure if there's a better way to do it. So yeah, we're going to rotate the entire team. Gay can play right back, so that kind of works. And I'm now kind of anxiously checking, have I swapped everyone round correctly? So we've brought in Ahmad and Henry, rotated everyone around in our defence, so it is just the same system as before, but mirrored. And then we'll make Ahmad the tracking wide midfielder and then Mora the wide midfielder. I feel like Mora, Esteval, Sesko, I don't take off here. Buadi's not had a great game, but obviously Hernandez has had an absolute stinker with his penalty miss. I feel like with his quality, you know what? The match rating has taken a tanking because he's missed a penalty. I'm keeping Bruno on. We still have the lead in this game for now, but a free kick here is scary, isn't it? McAllister is over it. He shoots it. It's tipped over. This could be a long 27 minutes. Ahmad, of course, brought on the right-hand side, known for his attacking ability more than his defending ability as a wing-back. He is going to try and get it onto his left foot, perhaps, although he picks out Murillo, who I think tried to shoot there. I was glad he won the ball, otherwise he could have been caught out in transition, that advanced centre-back. Gay now looking to bring the ball out. Backheels it. Esteval! He was offside, but it would have been an insane goal if it had gone in and countered. Just thinking about what my next moves are here, I feel like we need to bring in fresh legs, and I think the defence in mid-area is probably the area to bring those fresh legs in. I'm going to bring in Basuma for Buadi. I'm going to bring in Kobe Mainu as well for Bruno. I think the fresh legs are just a necessity at this point. Still got one sub. We'll hold it in our back pocket for now. I'm thinking maybe bringing in Delict at centre-back for Gay, who's not had the best of games so far, but at the same time, I don't really like to touch the back three. And I do feel like as good as Delict is, he doesn't really fit our defence as well as our starting three centre-backs kind of do. I feel like pace in a back three is always important, as of course it is in our attack, which I was hoping Ahmad would provide the pace in. Instead of running at the defence, he's gone for a shot from range, which is parried wide. Mora is now over the corner. They are playing a very zonal marking system at the edge of the 6-yard box. Runners from deep might be able to make something happen here. Ball's cleared away as far as Mora. Edge of the box. Ahmad shoots again. Hits the crossbar. Esteval can't get the rebound. Mainu maybe can keep this alive. To the byline he goes. He tries to pull it back and it's blocked. Are we going to regret some of these misses? Mo Salah's on a 6.1 rating. Isak's on a 6.12. We are blunted their attack in this game. Liverpool having lots of shots, but not many on target. 5 minutes left here for us to see things out. I don't want to touch things tactically. I've tried to go more defensive in games and it's not worked. I've tried to go more attacking and it's not worked. I'm taking my hands off the controls and hoping we can see out the next 2 minutes here at Wembley. 1 minute here at Wembley. Manchester United do the double. And now I consider this season a success. It is the FA Cup that we have won. And it is our second dose of success here at Wembley. It's a domestic double. Obviously, we will now play in the Community Shield final at the start of next season, which I'm going to pretend is a super real and legitimate trophy to add to the trophy cabinet. But as for this trophy right here, we are going to hoist it aloft. He's not holding the handles there. Ignore that. We are the FA Cup winners. And I feel like the season is now considered a minor success. I mean, pre-season, if you told me 2 cup wins and a Champions League semi-final and third, I probably would have been happy. I guess maybe the league's a little bit of a disappointment. Last year, we did finish third in the league as well. At the same time, I feel like that was a really good controlling performance that kind of shows that we can go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. And when I kind of look at the team that we have at our disposal here, like this is a young team in terms of the starting 11. This is a team that is built for the long haul with the exception of Bruno. And hopefully next year they're just going to continue to grow. Now, if you were wondering about future plans for this series, I think we've got at least one more season here at Manchester United to try and make a success of things. I see the comments daily, where is Park to Prem, Jack? Well, with Park to Prem, we wait a little bit because we like to have a custom database with more of the lower leagues of England added. And I like to make sure it's a database that is kind of properly done. Often people rush out these lower league 10-tier databases in Football Manager and they have lots of bugs. So I'm going to wait for one that I'm confident is good. But in the intermission, I think we've got another season here at Manchester United, at least, to try and take things up to that next level. I feel like at least now, if we have an awful season next year, I can claim there was some success at certain points in the series. Now, you can see here that Jan Vigili, I am looking to sign from Mallorca. This guy is a really good winger who is wanted by a fair few teams. Barcelona have made a bid that is half what I've offered. I want to bring this guy in, and I want him to be kind of alongside Estevao and Mora, kind of one of our go-to attacking mid-options. And at 20, I mean, look how good he is. Little early dose of a transfer special, I suppose. He wants us to challenge for the title next year, wants us to improve the midfield, and wants to be an important player. Can I lower that? I can't. I kind of respect the ambition, and I think he will be an important player for us, the youngster, so I'm going to go along with this. He does want £250,000 a week, which is absolute insanity, however. He's currently on £9,000 a week at Mallorca. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is absolutely phenomenal, but £250,000, son? He wants to be my second highest earner. I mentioned a few episodes ago how the contract demands sometimes in Football Manager at the moment feel bonkers. This feels like another example. I mean, to be fair, apparently he has more interest in joining Real Madrid, PSG, and the same interest in joining Man City. So I guess he wants to secure the bag. The fact that he wants to join all those teams means he must be quite good. He's the kind of man who I might bring in, and then it opens up the opportunity to potentially sell kind of Mbuemo and Cunha. I say that, I tried to sell both of them last year with no success. I didn't even see the wage after international appearances of 325k and the yearly wage rise. Is this him just politely telling me that he doesn't want to play for us? Because I'm going to be honest, that's kind of what it feels like at this point. I've removed and excluded the yearly wage rise and the wage after international games. He wants £300,000. He's not that good. Yeah, I'm cancelling these negotiations. Now, in terms of the first team, right now we have a squad of 26 players. And I think the main aim this year is basically to move on the overpaid players. Rashford, I tried to make a success of this year. I started him in 13 games, 24 sub-appearances. And he really just didn't do anything for us. So I am going to look to move him on. Obviously, his wages are massive, so that's going to be kind of tricky to move him on. His value is high, so maybe we can get something for him. Elsewhere, I kind of look at Cunha on £200,000. It's a little bit steep. De Ligt, I kind of touched upon during that last match. I like De Ligt, but he's never going to be a starting centre-back for me. And for my backup centre-back, is £220,000 too much? He did actually start 30 games this year. I do rotate things heavily when it comes to the defence, but it feels like too much to me. And that applies to Cunha, who, of course, we tried to sell before. And even to a certain extent to Mbeumo. Like, I kind of look at Mbeumo and how good he is now. And he's just not as good, I don't think, as players like Esteval. I guess I'm looking at it more from a statistical point of view. I think Esteval has just been a match winner for us, and the long-term upside means I just don't see a way that Mbeumo ever wins his spot back. There is no denying that he is kind of better when it comes to his mentals and technicals, but in terms of suiting our system, I feel like Esteval's kind of explosiveness is just really useful in pockets of space in the middle. Plus, I'm sure you can relate if you've ever played Football Manager. Sometimes you have two players and one is significantly better than the other, but the worst player just always seems to be the kind of player that plays better. And I kind of feel like it's a little bit of that there. In terms of improving the first team, I do wonder if I need to come up with the succession plan for Bruno. His physicals are falling off a little bit. Got 1 year left on his current contract. He's the kind of player where if there is interest from Saudi Arabia or like somewhere where I can get money for him, I probably might look to take it at this point. He's going to turn 33 very early on into next year, and despite his 20 natural fitness, there are those early signs of decline. At the start of the year, I think he had 20 stamina. I do think a significant amount of my wheeling and dealing is largely going to be determined by what money can I get for players, and also where is their value in the market in terms of positions to sign. The board have given me the vision for next year. I mean, it doesn't seem that crazy. There's nothing odd going on here. Sign players to sell for a profit, I feel like we've been doing a little bit of. And in terms of everything else, they just want Champions League football next year. I feel like if we're not challenging for the title, it's a disappointment next season. They want me to get to the league stage of the Champions League. If I increase this, I do actually get more money. I feel like the round of 16 is like not an unreasonable aim. But actually, the first knockout round is only £2 million less in transfer budget. So I think we'll go with that. I will say, if you're a new player to Football Manager and you never know quite what to say to the players in the end-of-season team meeting, general rule of thumb, just offer them whatever you were told to kind of achieve with the board. So in our case, it was make Champions League football, which if we do, everyone stands up and claps and agrees to. So yeah, little pro tip there. Start of season date, we're having a 5-week pre-season. There's no rest for the wicked. Oh, destination, China, USA, Singapore or Austria. You know what? We're going to go to America. I want to have Arby's. Our supporter profile has changed for the year. Does it actually tell you where it's changed? I don't know if I don't feel like it does tell you how it's changed, just that it's changed. I've not really looked at this screen before this year. Is this better than last year? I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's one of those screens that feels like it's in a very small area and this could have just been a full screen thing. Do you know what I mean? If you were wondering how Obi did on his loan at Hull, they just lost in the Championship playoff final. He only actually made 9 appearances for them, and 8 of them were on off the bench. It was not a very good loan spell. He did not find his groove, sadly. And if you were wondering about the Championship, you can see here, Crystal Palace finished down in 9th. They had an absolutely stinky season. Elsewhere, Southampton still stuck down there. In the end, QPR, Burnley and Wolves, the teams promoted up. That does mean that Adam Wharton is still available. And he is asking to leave. £70 million is quite a lot for a player in the Championship. But in terms of long-term successors to Bruno, I think I've got to have him on my radar. I was thinking about him last year, wasn't I? I'm kind of looking through their team here. It is mental that they weren't able to get promoted again, because they have actually got some really good players. Lacroix is asking to leave the club for £36 million. I mean, he's the kind of man who I would bring in if I could get good money for De Ligt, because I feel like his pace, his mentals, kind of just suit him well to a 3 at the back. I might have to keep a close eye on their team. They've got some very good players. Anyway, that does just about wrap up the season for us today. Just a little heads up, if you've not caught them earlier this week, I have been live streaming on Twitch and YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, there's a little live tab. So if you want to listen to more of my voice over the weekend, go watch us with our Norwich City Let's Play. We're having a lot of fun with it. Be cool for you to catch up and then come and watch us live. Besides all of that, have a lovely rest of your week. I will see you guys on Monday for more of this. There will be videos over the weekend. Keep your eyes peeled for those. But besides that, it's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.